Welcome to Calypso Showcase. Ella Andall, one of our top songbirds, fresh off a wonderful performance at the World Beat last weekend and getting ready for another big performance this weekend with the Black Stallion in concert. Ella, welcome to Calypso Showcase.
Thank you, Alvin. Thank you. Took a long time, eh?
Took a long time, but we got it right this time.
Yes, this time.
Hello Africa in the background, that cover version of Eddie Grant's big mega hit, one of your early songs, eh?
Yes.
And but we know your career started a little before that. Perhaps you can tell us how you got into music and how you hooked up with Raj Shorty and did some touring.
Okay, well, always into music. Brought up in a family, musical family, the drums, the guitar, in a small fishing village in Duquesne, Grenada, to Cuba, to Scouting for Talent, to Raj Shorty, Gaffy, I call him. We
Was
met
this mainly Canada or the States?
when we toured.
When you toured?
We toured the Caribbean and
North America?
North America. Canada mostly.
Yeah. And what were the songs that you did in that time?
I did Second Fiddle.
That was, in fact, still think that's one of your biggest hits.
It is.
Yeah.
Second Fiddle, Different People.
Number one in the Caribbean for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Africa. 3, one after the other.
All big.
Mm-hmm.
What prompted you to do Hello Africa in particular?
I liked the song. I heard the song early one morning. It woke me up, as a matter of fact. I heard the song and liked it immediately and decided to do it. I liked more than ever the movement of the bass line and that rhythm and the way Eddie called Africa.
Yes.
So it's like he's calling me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that your first sort of relationship with African-based songs, as it were, or was this something always part of your life?
No, that's why I said to you that I grew up in it. So I grew up in that, the drums, the rhythm, the African songs
So you
of
naturally
praise.
gravitated to that type of song.
Yes, but it's me.
It's you. It's
Yes,
you.
it's me.
And from that, I would think that your next big hit was Black Woman.
Yes.
And I would like you to talk about the concept of how you approached talking about Black woman in your song.
Well, I came home on vacation. I lived in Canada for a while, and I came home, and we were at the tail end of the boom, I think. Money is flowing and all of that, and everybody was, to me, so very materialistic. And I go to the discos, and I see mothers and daughters dressed and dancing and having a good time. And I said, I wonder if they do teach them, give them a strong foundation to stand on, or is it just a big party at this time? And I thought about it. I went home, and I began to write. And we did a concert.
Was this your first composition?
Yes, it was.
And you did this with Fortuna Reese?
Fortunately Reese. Now, Fortunately came. Fortunately didn't know how I feel. Fortunately came, and he brought this bass line.
Yeah.
And he said, I see you dancing to this, Ella. I said, okay. But I'm still working on Black Woman at that time. And I got up and I said, I started to sing the melody to the bass line. And there was Black Woman.
A beautiful song.
Yeah, it is.
And the lyrical part of it, how did that come? Was that spontaneous or was it, let us put it, contrived? And it might be a foolish question to ask, but I want to know what type of writer you are.
I don't know how to answer that, but what I do know that I have to feel it deep within, and it has to be meaningful to what's happening around me, what I'm seeing. That's the only way I write.
So you feel it first?
I feel it first.
And then it comes back
And then it comes, yes.
Well, I think
Well, how do you write, Alvin?
Well, I write both ways.
Okay.
I tend to do a lot more lyrics than music.
Okay.
So a lot of people bring tunes to me.
Okay.
I listen to the tune enough that it feels a part of me. Like if it becomes my melody.
Right, and
then I see what the music says.
Okay.
In fact, most of the times I have to name the song.
Okay.
So I see I try to find out what the music is telling me.
All
And
right.
then I produce lyrics to suit.
I have to feel it from inside. It has to bother me. I will have sleepless nights, and it will come, and sometimes it comes all in a rush, and sometimes it just comes part by part. But I wait until it comes.
This is interesting. We will trade notes as we go on throughout the program. Well,
Okay.
let's feature now Ella singing Black Woman.
Raise your hand, say you Love to heal a nation is the greatest power. Put our hands on the fire and cleanse the wicked. Right now, all of them who does worship greed and vanity must bow. Bring down the power. Unity is the banner, so come together. I say, and this love is for freedom, it grows stronger each day. Bring down the power. Bring down the power of love, I say. Bring down the power. The power of love, I say, is the greatest power. Stop hell and damnation. Bring down the power.
Welcome back to Calypso Showcase. Ella Andall, our special guest tonight, singing one of her signature tunes, dear. Bring down the power. I don't believe you could do a show if you had to sing one song. It would have to be Bring Down the Power.
For sure.
And you really do bring down the power. And the response that you get whenever you sing that song. In fact, I remember at the end of that song, the audience was, when you were hearing it in the background, applauding, clapping along, and really rising to their feet when you finished the song.
Yes.
That is one of your compositions as well.
Yes, it is.
And
Co-written by me and Brother Resistance.
Brother Resistance, I can feel a little bit
Yeah.
of his vibes in there.
Yeah, yeah.
But talk a little bit about the power and what the power means to you.
The power of love, you mean?
Well, what it is, the power of love, the power of religion.
Well, it's the power of love, because God is love. And love is the positive. And what I was saying in that song is that if we decide to love and respect each other, everything will be all right.
And that's the power.
And that's the power.
There's a religious side of you that is always ever present. And I want to bring this in at this point. I recently got that CD of yours with the chants, the Orisha chants. It's very powerful. I didn't believe it could have been so powerful that I could put it on and listen from beginning to end without stopping. What prompted the recording of those chants?
It's a thanksgiving. Doing the praise song to Ogun, who's the Orisha, clearer of the pathway. Ogun, who I call upon from time to time to remove the obstacles when I have to go forward, spiritually and carnally. And I knew the time would come when I would have to do that. So I just got up and decided to do it. Start to do the work that I have to do to give, as to say to people in Trinidad and Tobago and all over the world, that this fear that there is about Shango songs, like what they call it in Trinidad and other places, this fear of the drum and the fear, yes, And I said, look, let me just show them the beauty and as well give praise to my Orisha.
Well done, if I may say so.
Thank you.
Continuing with your career, there's an aspect of your career where you've always been able to pick out songs that are not necessarily yours and do beautiful cover versions of them. And I'm going to talk about two tunes in particular, 1990 and Lifeline. And tell me what attracted you to those two tunes and how you went about interpreting them in your own way.
Okay. I'd go with 1990. When I heard Brother do 1990, and he started, nuclear warheads, I started to say the story with him, but it wasn't the same way. Because the only reason I would do a cover is that I feel it inside of me, and then I will now relate it the way I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know, can't say that the songwriter and the person who sang the song, the owner of the song, should do it in a particular way.
Right.
But I just say, to see the song, I'm going to do the song.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the song. So it's a feeling of what he was saying. He said it particularly to me, and I said, you know, I would have said it this way.
And you did it your way.
Yes.
In Lifeline, I think when a lot of people heard Anne-Marie Innes sing this song, they said the only person who could sing this song is Anne-Marie Innes. And then one day, in one of your concerts, you sang this song, and everybody said, no, Ella has her own way of interpreting this song.
But then I do so. And Lifeline is such a truthful song.
Very much so.
You know?
Well-written lyrics by
yes,
JB,
yeah,
beautiful
JB,
melody by, of course, our boy Bugsy.
All right, so JB and Bugsy, if you're looking.
Big them up.
Yeah, one time.
Lifeline.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that get into you for you to put it back out? What did it say to you?
Just what it said. When I look at this whole multicolored world, I'm just one in a chain that extends back to creation. One thing is clear, I am aware, 1 million lives have brought me here. I'm not solo. Team colors I wear.
Let's take in 1990 and Lifeline.
Do I see it fall down? And there's an army in retreat. I see the old colonials of Europe become united, and perestroika fills the street. I see the eagle on the shoulder of the bear, or maybe it's the other way around. Is this the calm before the hellfire, or is all tomorrow really heaven bound? But 1990, the blood flows in Bogota, and from Beirut to Johannesburg, the rivers don't stop. 1990, third world children still wander in their boats, their jungles, their deserts, until they drop. It is strange. The more we change, rearrange, everything remains the same as we move into the next century. 1990, please make a liar of me. When I look at this whole multicolored world, I'm just one in a chain that extends back to creation. One thing is fair, I am aware, 1 million lives have brought me here. I'm not solo, team colors I wear. That's why I'll never survive, on life's road will try. Never fail to tip the scale towards we not I. I'll tell you why. 'Cause each day I share a harvest from all the seeds that previous men sowed. To share of mine, be the lifeline. That's the debt that I owe. Selfishness, greed and hate turn the human smile upside down. Jam the wheel of progress and make nature frown. It's by the night of wars and strife and racism, which is so trite. Humankind in there not I'll tell you why. 'Cause each day I want to party tonight. Young and country celebrate. I make sure that we rhythm right. And the melody sit down steady. It's come on, let me start the jamming. Mr. DJ, Mr. DJ, Mr. DJ, Mr. DJ, mix me down, mix me down, mix me down, Mr. DJ, Mr. DJ, Mr. DJ, start the party, hey, the people ready, start the party, hey, the people ready. Mr. DJ, Mr. DJ, Mr. DJ, Mr. DJ.
In the Mix by Ella Andall. What a surprise. Soca Monarch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw the surprise in your face when that one came up. Tell us about In the Mix and what brought that one.
I've been trying through the years to get into the Calypso tent. And the managers and the powers that be keep saying, well, you know, it's too spiritual, it's too African, and it's not the place to come with what I have to offer. So I was just saying to them, if it is I could stand on any stage, anytime, all over the world, why can't I go in the tent in Trinidad and Tobago?
Correct.
So I just take it and say, well, put me in the mix.
If that is what you want.
Yeah,
Put
and
me in the
then,
mix.
and then I went into the tent
Uh-huh.
and finalist in the Soca Monarch.
And semi-finals, I think, too. That
Yes,
year.
yeah.
So you proved that you could do it.
Yeah, yes.
But that did seem to open the door now for you to say, well, now that I'm in the mix, let me show you what I really want
yes,
to do.
yes.
And that, I think, the following year, Missing Generation and
came.
Rhythm of a People is more what Ella wanted to do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about those.
Well,
Because I think
somehow-
Missing Generation, in my book, is one of your biggest tunes.
All right.
One.
All right. But it was a pain of what happening with the children, not only Trinidad and Tobago alone, but home is home, of the world. And grown-ups was behaving like, you know, those children and them. I want to do them children and them, you see them youth today, but we are responsible for the youth.
Why a Missing Generation?
Because when I was talking about the song to a friend of mine called Melvin Tuitt, and he said, what missing generation? It's a lost generation. I said, no. I said, we have to find them, whatever they're doing, whatever they're hiding, whatever pain they cannot speak about.
We have
We're
to go
supposed
out and find them.
find them to make sure that we don't have a lost generation. And I did lyrics, well, I mean, like verses and
Instead of
verses
blaming
and-
them, we need to
That's right, the parents.
pull ourselves up.
That's right, because we are in charge of the children. You can't say like grown-up people, you know, well, I don't really want to have nothing to do with youth, and youth and with something else, you know. We are responsible. Parents, all of us. Because I am a mother of a child. I have several children calling me mother. And because I was given one, I am now to mother all. And I think that's what's the stand that we should take as adults, as grown-up, as parents. We used to, in Trinidad years ago, the community used to be the parent of the child.
Any child in the community.
Yes. But then we get maybe affluent, and then we buy our properties and we build high walls, and we start behaving like we have to speak on the phone. We can just pass by and just be. And so I could know what your children doing, and you could know what my children doing. We
And
could
I could
exchange.
protect yours
Yes,
and
and
you
you could
protect
protect
me.
mine. Yeah, and that's why I wrote the song.
Rhythm of a People.
Rhythm of a People is Trinidad people dancing from a rutical standpoint, because we like this. Our rhythm is like this, like we move that way, And I go back to the Chantwell.
You know, I want to mention something here because I think it's very important. When you sang Rhythm in the People, I heard people saying, this is not Calypso.
Yes.
And I told people,
Yeah.
this is really Calypso
Okay.
because you're going back to where
Inside the
Calypso
roots.
began,
Yes.
the roots of Calypso. And
Yes.
it is more Calypso
Yeah.
than what some of the other
Yeah,
people
yeah,
are singing.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important for some people, when they start talking about Calypso, to go back and listen to some of the early Calypsos and hear the
That's
structure
right.
and
And
where it all began.
it would take you straight back to the Orisha yard
That's
from the Chantwell and the drummers, because I know for a fact that the first set of panists were drummers.
well,
in
the
the
drum
Orisha.
led into the pan.
That's right.
And it started with
The
Andrew Bedo
Chantwell, yes.
as one of the founders
Yes.
who, you know, led the way into the steel band. And perhaps from
And
that
still-
point of view,
And still in Despa's rhythm
yeah, there's all
section, whole of the Orisha people drummers, they are still.
Missing Generation and Rhythm of a People.
Without truth, there is no life to honor. Without love, no reason to live. There's still time to change in humane behavior and to learn all that we should give. This world is not our own, we just the lights and custodians to guard, to guide and feed our children's needs. Yet we fill their hearts with hate alone and show no direction. We daily kill the plants, we throw away the seed. There's a missing generation out there. Who cares?
Find them. You better find them.
They are dying, disappearing everywhere. Who cares?
Find them. You better find them.
Somebody better pray. Somebody better pray. There's a missing generation, and soon if we don't find them, they're surely going to find us one day. There's a missing generation, and soon if we don't find them, there'll be no generation to care. Yeah, 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 Luwale, da, da. People gather round, I want you to listen well. To set your spirit free, I have this left to tell. Hear the grumbling of the drum, feel its mystic sound as it elevates now to a higher ground. Are you ready?
Are you ready for this?
Are you ready?
Are you ready for this?
Rhythm, shake the living.
Rhythm,
Shake the dead.
rhythm,
What you play from your heart without
rhythm to make the soul of our people dance. Rhythm to make the soul of our people dance.
people hear the call, a call for unity. Together, none will fall. Let's share our destiny. Dancing on the piece of light in perfect harmony. Father, brother, daughter, wife, won't you dance with me? Are you ready?
Are you ready for this?
Are you ready?
Are you ready for this?
Rhythm, shake the living. Rhythm, shake the dead. Rhythm, what you play from your heart. Rhythm, the
Rhythm to make the soul of our people dance. Rhythm to make the soul of our people dance. Keep up a holy lady Monday, Baba Holy lady Monday, keep up a holy lady Monday, Baba Holy, 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 keep up a holy lady Monday, Baba Holy. yard. With message and music, I'm coming in this soca yard.
Come to share this magic.
Don't try to stop this energy. 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 Eh, Shangwana Bubi aye. Eh, Shangwana Bubi aye. Eh, Shangwana Bubi aye. Shangwana Bubi aye. Do you have the information or a simple explanation? Tell me who gave who the authority so to change my name, my identity, to replace the frame of fair queens of life to the lies of misery and strife. You with your pale mind, you with your weak heart, no respect for human blood sacrifice or ancestors fed to the plantation. Say my name, say, I'm an African. Say your name.
Welcome back. Say my name and Soca Yard, and the chants and the call and response very synonymous with the roots of Calypso. Caller from Port of Spain, good evening.
Presenter, good evening.
Hi, how are you, dear?
I'm okay. Hi, Ella.
Hi,
How are you, my
Good.
Taurus friend?
I'm doing great.
Right. I see it. I can't remember seeing you singing, the mix, but, it was well done.
Thank you.
That one turned on everyone.
Yes, yes. I did see that one. Keep on in that vein, and thank you for your contribution, and hope,
Thank
it
you.
continues beyond,
All right.
Thank you very much for that call. Good evening, Arima. Hello, Arima.
Hello, good night to Ella and Andall.
Hello.
Hello.
My number one female singer in Trinidad and Tobago.
Give thanks.
I just want to tell you to keep up the good work and continue what you're doing. You look lovely tonight.
Thank you.
Oh,
Always looks lovely. Soca Yard, that, the significance of saying, come in the Soca Yard,
Yeah.
to show them the way it's really
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Kuva is on the line. Let's hear what Kuva has to say. Good evening, Kuva.
good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Well, thank you. I'd like to say good night to Miss Ella Andall. And I am a special fan of hers. I want to just say that I have admired her from since I was a little girl, where she used to go at a little snacket on McBean Road, Peter Samaru. And she used to come there and put in money in a jukebox.
Yeah.
And she used to sing to the top of her voice. And I was a little girl living next door to this snacket. And I have been admiring her from since then. And I would like to tell her to keep up the good work, and someday I would like to be in her shoes. So keep up the good work, and may you continue to be on that spiritual pathway.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing that piece of information, special information about Ella. Lavantel, good evening.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
Keeping.
Hi, Ella, darling.
Hi, love.
I wonder if you recognize this voice, honey.
I can't see.
Lee
Hey, Lisol.
Souls.
Mr. Ramsey.
Right.
Mr. Ramsey, how are you?
I am fine,
I used to the
okay.
best village up there.
I find you look so relaxed and, nice there tonight.
Alvin is good company.
Oh, I see. Anyhow, keep up all the good work. Okay, darling?
Okay, thank you.
I just have a vision that 2000 coming up will be a bigger year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lavantel. Another call on the line. Good evening.
Good evening.
And where are you calling us from?
Valencia.
We're pleased to have you on the program. Feel free to talk to Ella.
Ella,
Mm.
Rhythm of a People.
Yes.
Oh, that's my song.
All right.
And you continue moving in that direction.
All right.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're happy to have you.
Thank
And
you.
we are blessed. Thank you for your music.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that voice. Keep it in good condition. Always.
I will.
And our prayers are with you.
Thank you.
Okay.
What struck me is that, for 2 years you went into the competition thing and you were able to go to Savannah on both occasions. How necessary was that as part of your career?
I just needed a big stage to say what I wanted to say. That's all.
And from here, you think you can take it any direction now?
Yes. Yes. You do a good song, you believe in it, you perform it, you go. You didn't go, you go the other time. You just have to do the work that you set out to do. But when I make my mind up to do something, then I get it done. I've been doing that through all my life.
I will interrupt you as we have Kuva holding on the
All
line.
right.
Good evening, Kuva.
Hello, Ella.
Hi, how
Hi.
are you?
Hello, your good friend Marjorie.
How are
I'm
you?
fine, thank you. I feel so proud when I hear you. Eh?
Yeah, my
I want to say congratulations
Thank
and
you.
keep up your good works.
Thank you.
Right?
All right.
Bring down the power.
All right.
Nice, from you also.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And we also have Princess Tong on the line. Good evening, Princess Tong.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Yeah?
to you.
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
sure you recognize the voice.
Yes, yeah.
You know how we feel about you.
Yes, I know.
I bring you greetings from the realm of the ancestors. And I want to tell you that Trinidad and the world ain't see the best of Ella Andall yet.
No, they don't.
Because you come in, and you come in, and you come in, and we're there with you. I love you, sister.
I just go from strength to strength with the help of God and the ancestors.
Modupe, I love you.
Modupa, I
Thank
love
you
too.
very much, dear. As we start the music of Missing Generation in the background, I'll give you a chance to say something to the nation, your final words to the nation.
All right. Trinidad and Tobago, I especially want to say, hello to Tobago. I want to give congratulations to the people, the ward, David, Tree Canal, Brother Resistance. I'd like to talk to people who have helped me. We don't have much time. I think we're at the end of the show. We are?
But you can keep talking.
Okay. Rash Shorty I, Fortunate Ruiz, the deceased Lancelot Lane, all the singers who sang with me, Gail McLean, Phyllis Joseph, Phyllis Cumberbatch, Donald Hinkson, my dearest friend and supporter, my husband Akukunta, who supported me all the way, all the people from the best village, and wherever you are, know that I stand for truth and honesty and justice. And I stand to see a brighter tomorrow. So I ask you, so let's take care of the children and the elders. Let's understand each other and bring back a united Trinidad and Tobago as it used to be. Because if we don't, we have serious trouble. Here's a young Lau. Good evening, good night. It's night time now, yeah? My sister Anita, Mei Ling, Minchel, everybody who helped, everybody who said a word, the Mali. Again, I say for the resistance, for a lot of reasons. And all the musicians, less done.
Pleasure having you on Calypso Showcase.
Thank you.
May you go from strength to strength.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See the smiles, hear the joyful laughter of the generations to come. Let's join our hearts and dream our dreams like our ancestors, striving the hungry mouths and minds to feed. For this last chance to touch the souls of our creation, let's till the ground help to secure the seed. There's a missing generation out there. Who can find them?